For some reaction, we're joined by the South African Human Rights Commission's Thonoko Modise, who joins us live. A very good evening to you. Thank you so much for your time. I mean, we're dealing here with allegations of repeated racist slurs, including the K word, and, a community with deep racial divisions. What is your immediate reaction to such incidents, which are surprisingly, or perhaps not, still taking place in the year 2025?
Well, the Commission condemns with strongest words this type of conduct. It is polarizing society, and it is really against, good values within our society.
South Africa's Constitution and Equality Act clearly prohibits hate speech. Why do cases like this, why are we seeing a repeat of such cases? And where are the loopholes?
Look, we live in a society where people don't really accept, change in society, that we are now living in a constitutional democracy, and that, people should be treated with dignity and respect. And therefore, you find there are people, some quotas within society would not want to really accept change. That, there was times of apartheid and oppression of black people and other, Africans has really, moved over, and we are now in a new constitutional democracy. And therefore, you still find quarters of people around, society who still believe in discrimination. And these are really, bad situations which should be condemned with the strongest words by society.
Are incidents like this slipping through the crack because of a failure of law enforcement? Is it a matter of awareness or an enforcement of existing rights?
Look, I would not say it's failure of enforcement. I think what people do and say such words and really handling hate speech to other people on the basis of their skin color, it is something that people do intentionally. Although we do have, law enforcement, people can approach courts and lay charges at police station of criminal injury. We also have, we encourage people to approach also, our offices so that we can either take these matters to equality courts.
So, in this specific case, the family says they feel unsafe and they fear for their child's well-being. In terms of recourse, yes, I hear you talking about the courts, but, what recourse do families in similar situations have beyond turning to the courts?
Look, families can either approach the courts or police station. And obviously, for them to get a protection from harassment order, they need to approach the courts, and that for me is a most immediate relief that they can get, because what they can do, they approach the courts and request that order, and then that order will be given to the police, and it will be immediately served upon the respondents and giving them a date to appear in court.
It's been argued many times that the criminal justice system moves too slowly in dealing with racist incidents. What role can the South African Human Rights Commission play to close that gap?
We believe that the Human Rights Commission plays a very pivotal role in really unifying society. However, when there are complaints of this nature, Human Rights Commission can take such cases and we can approach the courts on behalf of the complainants. In other words, we can approach the equality courts and bring this case and have this matter prosecuted in the equality court and representing the complainant and hoping that the courts will send a very strong message to perpetrators of this heinous conducts.
And perhaps just going back a bit for clarity, what specific powers does the SAHRC have when it comes to investigating, mediating, or taking legal action in racial discrimination cases?
Remember, the Human Rights Commission has got a mandate to promote, to protect, and to monitor observance of human rights in South Africa. And therefore, one of our powers is we can either, try and mediate, as you correctly said, the matter between the parties that are involved in this matter. In the alternative, if mediation doesn't work, we also have the right or the mandate to approach the courts. In other words, would approach the Equality Court, file, the pleadings, and have the matter prosecuted in court, and have the court make a pronouncement on either whether this person is guilty or not guilty.
Is this a case that you are keen on escalating and assisting with? Were you aware of it?
We were not aware of this case, and really we want to encourage the complainant in this matter to approach our office in Bloemfontein or to call our office line so that we can really take this matter further. We believe that without the involvement of Human Rights Commission, quite a number of people's rights are being violated, and some of the people feel they cannot do anything, or some of them feel that they are helpless, when they come to such things. So Human Rights Commission stands for such, situations where people who feel that, their rights have been violated, they can approach our offices, and we can really take this matter through to courts and assist in prosecuting these matters.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us this evening. South African Human Rights Commission's Thonoko Modise.